Hello and good evening. This is your boy Von B and my main man Elton, the New Avenger, and this is the UN podcast. Name still trying to be decided. I'll figure at some point what the UN stands for. How y'all doing out there? It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a show. And today I'm kind of like it's been a long day, and I named the show the episode that we are on was like 121 and just chatting. That's how much my brain can work right now.
Your brain is not braining.
Yeah, my brain is not braining well at all. All right, say something again.
Hello.
All right, turn yourself up just a little bit.
I wonder what's wrong with my thing.
When did I buy that thing? Been what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
Maybe they on the last 2 years. Man. All right. Well, this is just it's not much going on. Like, I haven't seen Mario yet. I didn't go see Hail Mary. So
Oh yeah. I wanted to watch both of those too.
yeah. So I don't think the kids were I don't think why did we not go? I don't think the kids were that interested in it. So that
What have
is
you heard about it so far?
what I've heard about it.
hmm Like it's not as good as the first one. I think that's what I've been hearing.
Okay. I thought you meant like Hail Mary.
Oh no,
I was
Mario.
like,
Sorry.
yeah, I was like first one. I'm like, I don't know. It's been mixed. Some people, yeah, I've heard, yeah, it's been mixed.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I don't know. We're gonna go see it Tuesday, so I'll find out then. I'm not exactly sure what it was. They had a lot of complaints about the first one.
Oh, kind of. Huh? Oh, they did, huh?
Yeah,
Looking back.
yeah. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're looking for. Like Mario does have a story, but it is not that deep. It's not like it's Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah.
So people getting all upset about, oh, it's too much nostalgia bait. Okay, and that's basically what stuff is. So again, I don't know what you're looking for, but you know how that goes. I've been I'll either like it or don't like it. It's not gonna change things drastically for me. So all right, well, are you gonna go check out Hail Mary at some point?
I wanted to. I've heard many good things about it.
Yeah, I think that might be one of those buy it when it comes digital.
Yeah.
So and then I can watch it whenever. What's funny is I got Superman for like $10 and I still haven't looked at it. So and to show you how oh is it I don't know. I used to watch like a lot of movies. Now it's sometimes it's kind of difficult to get myself to check out any of these things. I don't know what the deal is.
For one reason or for some reason, I also not really am inclined to watch like, that Superman movie and the
Mhm.
other superhero movies also, like the newer ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I am looking forward
What, Supergirl?
to Doomsday. So,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Supergirl. That's the
are
new
you?
me. No, not really. It no, at some point I guess I'll check it out, but it's like it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not exactly sure because they were trying to say that like James Gunn had like nothing to do with it. Well, just being producer or whatever. I'm like, it looks exactly like Guardians of the Galaxy. The story beats. She got like she's dressed kind of like Star Lord. She's listening to old music on an old iPad, on an old iPod. It's like, bro, it's it's like he figured out how to do one thing that everybody likes, and he keeps trying to do the exact same thing over and over again. And I don't think it's working for the most part, you know. Oh, all right. Let's I don't have really a lot to talk about, but I saw some interesting stuff. One of which is more of a technology thing. It's about than anything. Uh, uh, so, do you plan on buying a new computer anytime soon?
No.
Well, I mean, if you were, if you were, the RAM prices are going down, and part of the reason is those data centers that they're supposed to be putting everywhere. Yeah, they're not making them.
Mm.
Yeah, part of the thing is I was looking at this dude named Rick Bento, and he was talking about a personal. It was like a personal AI on your computer. Let me see if I can find this. Hope I can find AI. What are you talking about? Okay, so no. So I'm gonna find this thing. 4 months ago. When did I watch it? Yeah. All right. Okay.
The reason I'm talking to you today is really because of a piece of hardware and software that came out in 1999. I've mentioned this before, but it's called the Digi 001 by DigiDesign. You might be like, how do I get one of these LLMs or these? Same thing has happened in film and TV. I'm recording this video right now with a camera that I got at Best Buy, a Sony camera that pretty much all YouTubers use. And I'm going to edit it on my computer that's sitting right here that's running the newer version of Pro Tools. That same computer is so fast, and computers have gotten so fast that they can run AI models on them. Let me show you how. Okay, so how do I get one of these LLMs or these AI programs on my computer? I'm going to go to this thing called LM Studio. LM Studio is a desktop application that provides a user-friendly graphic interface for searching, downloading, and running large language models locally on your own hardware. So this is going to be run on your computer that's not connected to the internet. You can put all your personal data on and no one else can see it. Click download for Mac. I'm running a Mac. I get it. Okay, now I have to get an AI program or a large language model. So I'm going to go to this website called Hugging Face that has 2.7 million different free LLMs on it. I'm going to download one that's decent size. This is Qwen 3.5. This is one that has 36 billion parameters. So it's a big one, but it's not that big. I can run it on my computer that I bought at the Apple Store. Okay, I download that, Qwen 3.5, boom. Okay, I have it on the computer. Now I'm opening it. Open LM Studio. Here we go. I'm going to put Qwen 3.5 is on here. Okay, then I'm going to do new chat. Now let me put in a prompt that somebody probably that's watching this would put in. So the prompt is this. I have a list of these ingredients: eggs, milk, tomatoes, potatoes, flour, chicken. Give me a recipe out of these that I can cook tonight. You don't have to use all of these. Here we go. Here's a hearty and comforting recipe that uses almost all the ingredients to create a one-pan dinner. It combines the crispiness of potatoes with a creamy tomato chicken sauce topped with eggs for richness. This sounds good here. This is what people typically use their LLMs for, or their AI for. Let's do another one. This is something somebody might use. Rewrite a rough draft into a polite professional email to my boss asking for next Friday off. Hey, I need to take Friday off because I have this dentist appointment and it's far away. Can I go? Thanks. Let's see what it says. Okay, so here it is. Option number 1, standard professional recommended. Hi, boss, or hi, Rick. Let's say it's one of my guys. I'm writing to request next Friday off for a dentist appointment. Since the location is outside of town, I will need the full day to accommodate travel time. I plan to complete my current priorities before then and ensure that all projects are up to date. Please let me know if this works for you. Best regards, Tom. Seriously, Tom, can't you get a dentist in town? Okay, so this is something that people will use AI for. This is actually a common thing. Okay, let me do one more. Plan a one-day trip to London on a budget total of $100. List 3 top free attractions and give me an estimated price for lunch. London is an expensive city, so $100. It might cost you $100 to do stuff. Now, remember, this is just running on my computer. I'm not connected to the internet with this. This is doing it from this LLM that's downloaded to my computer offline. My computer is not connected to the internet. Okay, here we go. Here's a one-day London itinerary designed to fit comfortably within a $100 budget, approximately 75 to 80 pounds. This plan focuses on walking, public transportation efficiency, and iconic free experiences. Morning, British Museum in Covent Garden. Number 2, lunch here in Covent Garden Market or Soho. Afternoon, National Gallery, Trafalgar Square. Evening, St. James Park and Hyde Park. It shows lunch estimate here for $20 USD or 16 pounds. And then it's got the budget breakdown for $100. Transport, $15. Lunch, 20, snacks and water, $10. Souvenirs, $35. Attractions, free, total $80. Money saving tips for London, so on and so forth. This is something that you...
All right, so 50% of the AI data centers in the U.S. were canceled due to supply shortage of parts from China.
That makes sense.
Wait. U.S. efforts to block Chinese AI chips backfire, creating a shortage of essential infrastructure that China primarily manufactures. All right, so essentially, like we're holding on to one thing, they're holding on to another thing. So everybody's holding on to the stuff, so they're not building these data centers or whatever, right? But part of the thing that interests me though was basically like what he was saying is these portable ones. So at the same time, they got a bunch of people working on AI that you can put on your computer that's not attached to some giant data center someplace, and it's not selling your data. So it's like I am curious as to which one is going to actually hold on the end, especially in terms of like entertainment and all that stuff. Because that's another thing. Like once you get into AI, is especially like with the thing I'll tell you about with Ben Affleck. And all right, let me share that. Yeah. All right, so Netflix is good at bad AI. Hollywood's AI conundrum arises again as Netflix buys Ben Affleck's AI startup for $600 million. Didn't even know Ben Affleck was into AI like that.
Yeah, that certainly flew under the radar.
Right. So what is Interpositive AI and why is Netflix paying so much money for one of Hollywood's least known AI startups? Now this seems to be the combination of ready cash and a beauty in the eyes of the holder situation. After merging losing in their takeover war with Paramount, Skydance for Warner Brothers, Netflix won its own little victory in the form of a $2.8 billion breakup fee. And Ben Affleck's stealth invention is the beneficiary of that sum. Just days after being forced out of the merger deal, Netflix paid a reported $600 million to buy a Illinois AI company. Started the company in 2022 with a focus on post-production editing. The deal, which is the second largest in Netflix history, sees Affleck join the streamer as an advisor, while Positive AI staff are integrated into Netflix. According to Bloomberg, the initial amount paid by Netflix might be lower, with the rest of the payments being attached to certain performance targets. Even so, the purchase, which came out of the blue, didn't even know he was working on this, sparked lots of concerns over where Hollywood really stands with AI. Just a few weeks ago, a group of more than 800 actors, writers, and other creatives across the USA joined the Stealing is an Innovative campaign against AI companies, which has received an immense support from some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Like, nobody gives a shit. Now that there are three main types of AI, generative AI, predictive AI, and what the hell? Agnetic, autonomous decision-making AI, whatever that means.
That sounds like a made-up word.
Most things are. Affleck startup falls into the latter of two categories, and this point become very important when analyzing his and the general opinion of many Hollywood on AI. While Ben Affleck is not a signatory to the touted human artistry campaign, he is a well-known skeptic of generative AI, having downplayed the technology's actual ability to replace humans multiple times. Yeah, because all it does is make copies of stuff. So and you see how, all right, do you mind telling you about all the AI stuff and the AI things and blah, 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 blah. And it was like everywhere in the algorithm. And that lasted for like maybe 2 months.
Right.
Yeah. So, because I think what most people realize is that, wow, this is interesting. And I've heard very different, interesting interpretations of different music. At the end of the day, it is an interpretation of different music that has already been created. So there was somebody who did classical music versions of popular acts, like best songs. So I have classical music versions of Dr. Dre songs, Aerosmith songs, and it's like a couple. And I also have like reggae versions of their songs. I have reggae songs, trap soul versions of different people's stuff. So it's like a little mashup. I like mashups, so it's interesting to me, but none of it is new. So it's interesting for like 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. See how interested you were in my 5 minutes of talking? All right. So he said that movies will be one of the last things to be completely taken over AI because, in his opinion, the technology can't reproduce works as great as Shakespeare or match the product coordinated acting by multiple actors on set. What he is going to do is going to big word, disintermediate the more laborious, less creative, and more costly aspects of filmmaking that allow costs to be brought down. Yeah. You get what he's saying?
I think so, because you're trying to say, like, when it at the end of the day, when it generates its content, like it's just gonna be like a less it'll be like an imperfect copy, or it'll have remnants and inklings of whatever is put into the generator, but it's not gonna come out like something original. So, and if it's something that's very specific or very detailed, then won't be able to pick up on those things.
Yeah, like I told you, my experiments with this stuff is it you can put in the same prompt over and over again, and it typically will not give you the same thing twice. They have some that will give you similar things, but it really doesn't. In terms of the laborious stuff that he is talking about, like, all right, the way they, like, for 2D animation, right? So like the example I can give is like Aladdin and stuff like that, right? So you would have a main artist. The main artist would draw the dynamic poses, right? So he would go in, he would like this and that, and that kind of stuff, right? The big poses, the big things that stand out. And they have people they call in-betweeners. So that person would draw the in-between parts that connect this to that. All right. So it's the movement, it's this movement. All right. And so that is very labor intensive because everything is 24 frames. That is 24 pictures probably per second. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of drawing. So you went up with a lot of drawing just to do that. So what you can wind up with is one person who is drawing this, that, and then the AI putting all that together, making it move. And then after it's done, that person who does the major stuff will come in and clean up the little shit in the middle. When AI does weird stuff and AI does weird stuff, it's always, if you look at the picture and if you look hard enough, that's why people can really tell when companies, they think they're being slick by using AI artwork and whatnot. Well, people can tell because it looks a little weird. It's like something is off. You may not be able to tell off top of your head what's off, but something is off. Something is just not right about what you're looking at. All right. So that's basically what he's talking about. All that little stuff. The stuff for animation, virtual effects. So that stuff costs a lot. So you instead of having 5 people do something, you can have just one. And he kind of like coordinate everything. All right. So and do you remember I was showing you this stuff with the Star Wars stuff that everybody was talking about for about a couple weeks?
Say that again?
You remember the stuff I was showing you with all the Star Wars stuff that all these people doing their little fan stories?
Mm-hmm.
Luke Skywalker meeting his dad, that kind of stuff. And when I showed it to you, it was really shiny and looked really cool right up until they started talking, and it just couldn't. They couldn't get the emotion right. So Anakin was very not like emotional about talking to his son again. Yeah, it's just something was off. And if you look at all of them, it was the same thing. It was shiny and looks great and blah blah blah. And then as soon as they start talking, it's like, yeah, that's weird. And how they move is weird. Something's a little weird. So it seems like a lot of this stuff lately is these companies are trying to push through stuff that's just not quite ready yet. From the robots to the self-driving vehicles, it's like, my friend of mine has the Tesla Y. The self-driving stuff in that thing is amazing. All right. What he uses it a lot.
Self-driving?
Yeah, he uses it a lot. And it actually drives better than most freaking people do. Because it actually follows the rules of the road. But not every self-driving vehicle is the same. Like I think the Ford Mach-E, I think that thing is having all kind of problems. Bro, you remember that one I showed you with the dude? He couldn't get it out of driving, and he's in the car yelling and screaming while this thing is trying very hard to turn right on the freeway, and it's going the wrong way, and it's hitting the side of the thing until it ran out of guardrail, and then it just went straight over and crashed. Bro, it's like, I don't want to be stuck in this car doing 60, 70 miles an hour and it not letting me do anything. I saw like the Waymo stuff People yelling at the car because it's going the wrong way, doing stuff. Saw a video of, I guess in San Francisco, they got delivering stuff, and apparently what it uses to figure out where to go, yeah, it doesn't work well with glass. So it showed. I saw the video I saw of was one driving through like glass that's on a bus stop, like a bus stop. So part of it was glass, and it drove right through the glass because the way the laser, the way the laser work, it can't see the glass because it sends a signal out and it turns when it bounces off something back at it. But when it comes across glass, it doesn't bounce back enough for it to register it. So it just drove straight through the glass.
It's probably something you don't even think about either.
No, it's like everything else. There's a lot of stuff happening, and people are focusing on other stuff. So it's like, so you got all these companies that are trying to brush through all this stuff for various reasons. One of which is to lessen the amount of staff that they have, so they can increase their profit margin. And like, bro, this stuff ain't like that, you know. So, all right. Surprisingly, he didn't mention anything about his own AI company, which is well on the way at the time, and which can now be on his way to cut the same jobs he mentioned at Netflix. Shocking. As for reducing the cost, AI tools have been in use for several years now, but there is no tangible proof that costs are going down. During a January 2026 interview with Joe Rogan podcast, Affleck once again upped his criticism, accusing big AI companies of overhyping their products, which they are, in a bid to get investment. If you listen to any AI CEO, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah. So if you try to get ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini to write you something, it's really shitty. And it's shitty because it's by nature, it goes to the mean, to the average, it's not reliable. Yeah, it is a version of you're asking for something and then giving you the middle ground of everything. So I just can't stand to see what it writes. Wow, still admitted the AI is a great tool for research, could be comfortably adopted as an assistant. Yeah, there's a lot of that now. You heard about the agents now. I think that's what they're calling them. So say you wake up in the morning and you need to research pyramids in Mexico or something like that, and you don't have enough time, you can tell your AI kind of assistant or agent to look all that information up for you and put it in a certain format, and it'll do that while you brushing your teeth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure how all this is going to break out when it comes to music, because the music thing, you got all these guys on YouTube pushing Suno, which is AI generated music, right? But it basically does the same thing that he's talking about. So all of it does the exact same thing, and it's all it can do is take an average of everything. So you get an average version of everything. You get your average tap song, you get your average country song, you get your average this, average that. Nothing inspiring, because it doesn't know how to do that, because it can't. So
summary.
Yeah, pretty much. I think very likely it's going to be able to write anything meaningful, not until they can figure out how to get it to understand emotion and why certain things are the way that they are. I'm not sure if we wanted to understand that, because I've heard a whole bunch of stuff where AI doing all kind of sneaky stuff to stay alive, I guess. And where it's like, they're trying to get a new version. So it hiding itself and doing other things to keep from being replaced by something else. I'm not sure I want that to understand human emotions, because at some point somebody's gonna make Skynet. That's the thing that keep going through my head with all this new stuff. It's like, yeah, that's cool. Just don't make Skynet. Okay. Despite the interview coming much more conclusion, for enterprise that never came out during the podcast once. Again, his tone, however, seemed to demonize generative AI, a trend that is slowly being normalized in Hollywood. Yeah, because again, it's just like all these other things. They're pushing through the technology that is not quite there yet. But these corporations are also selling you cars that aren't quite there yet, building you houses that aren't that great anymore. You buying appliances that don't last you that long. I have a dresser that was somebody's grandmother. And if I had kids, I would probably be able to give it to my kids, kind of thing. Because this thing is old and it's heavy, and it'll probably last forever. But if I go to IKEA or one of these places and buy one of these new things, I'll probably get a good 5 years out of it.
And yeah, that's right.
All right, so I think a lot of it comes from the people who are trying to justify valuation on companies and where to go. I'm going to change everything in 2 years. It's going to be no work. But the reason that they are saying that is the need to ascribe a valuation for investment that can warrant the cap expenditure they're going to make on these data centers, which they're not building as many of. So apparently OpenAI reneged on, they were supposed to purchase 40% of DRAM, and they aren't going to have the capital to do so. So that's going to be available to people. So we'll see all these ridiculous prices for stuff, because that stuff is in everything. As a non-generative AI, prices is key tool in the future of the industry, comparing that to visual effects and other technologies they have come over the years. Zentham is exactly seen to praise the same capabilities associated with his AI company. Yeah, he's doing what everybody else does. I don't know why that's shocking. I think the guilds are going to manage this where it is like, okay, if this is the tool that can actually help us, for example, we don't have to go to the North Pole, right? We can shoot a scene here in our parks and whatever it is and make it appear very realistically if we were in the North Pole. It saves us a lot of money, a lot of time. We're gonna focus on performance and not be freezing our ass out there and running back inside as usual. Yeah, but
I mean, do you agree with that?
No, because that thing that Disney is using, I forgot what it's called. It's like a little. They use it for the Mandalorian, and they started using it on a bunch of stuff to the point where people started noticing it. It's like is
that also in like the Moana live action?
Probably it's Disney. So it's their technology, so they use it for everything. But you can kind of notice it. So something is off. You don't exactly know what is off, but you do know that something is off. And it's just like you're kind of like looking at it, kind of like I don't like this, but I don't know why I don't like this.
Oh, right.
All right. So any of this technology is going to be the same. If you're in a spot where you're supposed to be acting like you're freezing your butt off, genuinely it helps for you to be kind of freezing your butt off. So he's talking about focusing on the thing, and like, yeah, but part of the thing that you need to focus on is pretending that you're freezing your butt off when you're not.
That's a good point.
So there's a world of difference of filming. Luke Skywalker was walking in the snow, but he was actually walking in the parking lot of the hotel they were staying in. But where they were at, it was a snowstorm. So the camera crew was set up inside the lobby, I think, and they were filming him outside. So he's walking through the snow. he's just in the parking lot of a hotel.
But as you said, you could tell like when you linked me that video, you could tell like something was off.
Yeah, but you didn't know. You don't really know what it is. Like I don't know what it is, but something is just not cool. So he can talk all his want. Now, I showed you the other video thing, and the reason why I showed you that, and I talked about the data center stuff, is like both of these things are happening around the same time. So people are working on these smaller AI language learning models that is kind of like a race, because there's one that they're going to be pushing at you is I guess you can look at it as Linux versus Windows. Like they want you to use the Windows one, so the big one with the data centers and all that stuff, and because they also have access to your data. But I think at the end of the day, it's when more and more people get more, I don't know. It's like I don't know which one would actually win out in the end. The one I would like is the more personal one, where you have your own personal. Now that could probably have its own issues, because he can say that it's offline, but that don't mean that it actually is.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't put it past. You saw the little date list of all the little smaller ones. I wouldn't put it past one of the larger companies sticking a smaller version of an AI into that, because your average person is not going to know. I don't know. I mean, Affleck's comments make a lot of sense, but they ignore the fact that predictive AI and autonomous decision-making AI pose even greater threat at this time to another class of people who are also in the key of running Hollywood, despite not being as vocal. His mentions of the guilds in the interview, especially important because AI is a major factor in a 118-day long stupid strike that destroyed all their jobs. As part of the agreement, included strike film is required to seek actors' consent before using their images or likenesses in film. You know what's funny about this is, so they get this agreement, right? And James Earl Jones' estate, because he agreed to this before he died, that they can use his voice. That Disney has signed his rights of his voice over to Disney. So they can, basically, Darth Vader is going to sound like Darth Vader forever. Like, yeah. Instead of having somebody pretend, what they'll be able to do is clone his voice. So somebody else would talk as Darth Vader, and the computer would just make it sound like James Earl Jones. Yeah, you get it?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm in agreement with that.
No, but he signed his rights. So, people are used to Darth Vader sounding a certain way. And at some point, they're probably going to do full body scans when it gets to be, because right now, like, I saw something where this dude was being a OnlyFans chick. So he's making the facial expressions, but the computer is changing that to look like some nose ring having goth chick. Yeah, it looks like a real chick too. So something that looks like a real chick. So these dudes is giving money to a guy who's pretending to be a girl.
Oh gosh.
Dude, like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening, and most people aren't paying attention to it at all. Just like but yesterday, they had a ABC and CBS gave an interview with folks on the Artemis 2 mission. They were 155,000 nautical miles away from Earth, kind of like in the middle between the moon and Earth. And they conducted an interview. There was like a 4-second pause. But other than that, yeah. So it means that like whenever we establish this base on the moon that they're talking about, relatively real time communication. I guess I don't know. Maybe they'd have to lay out satellites or whatever to bounce signal a bit better. But yeah, nobody talking about it. So you go look through my algorithm on YouTube. I don't see anybody talking about that. Like, dude, that's astounding. It's a bunch of people arguing about dumb shit. So like I said, there's so much stuff happening, and people are still arguing about stupid crap. Okay, so yeah, I think this gets into them complaining about Hollywood and Tilly Norwood, the AI actress chick. Yeah, so, I don't know, dude. The thing about entertainment that at its best is communal, and when we get to the point when it no longer is communal and we're not laughing at the same stuff or crying about the same stuff or being excited about the same stuff, it's just yet one more thing that's just not good. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
No. You know they're making that RoboCop series for Amazon, right?
I think you told me.
RoboCop is a satirical look at the 80s. And when they did the reboot and they tried to modernize it, and they completely took the satiricalness out of it. So this thing is going to be some nonsense about bad guy's going to be Trump somehow. Just like every time I see one of these companies decide that they want to reboot something, I get the same feeling. It's like it's gonna be crap. And I'm yeah, it's like it's gonna be crap. Because they don't understand why this worked. Okay, time there.
Can you think they can make it work?
No.
Dude, what do you think could make it work?
Not doing it. I don't know. I can find this. It's a picture that somebody posted. Okay. I can find this thing. No, that's not it. Come on. Where's this picture at? Okay, so we can find the other one. There's two pictures I wanted to show you. Somebody pulled it. Here's a picture of Bungie, who made Halo, what the staff looked like before and what it looks like now. I'm looking for the before picture. It keeps showing me the after one. Okay, no, that's not it. And it basically, in a nutshell, and I'll show it to you and why I don't think that they can based that why they can't do it. It's because who they have working on this stuff now. Okay. Image lens. Facebook X. See if they still have this thing. Okay. All right. Share this instead. Okay. All right. So you see this picture?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is what Bungie staff looked like before. All right. See all of these guys. All right. This is what it looks like now. This is like to our women and non-binary developers, right?
Uh-huh.
Bungie makes crap because these are guys who work for stuff that they like. So they made stuff that guys like. The vast majority of, and one thing I've noticed, and I've noticed this in so many stuff, and I bet you depending on who I said this to, they would tell me that I'm being sexist or whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. Because women don't make stuff for guys. So if when you get a influx of women into a guy space, they eventually turn it into a girl space, or at least try to. That's what happened with Star Wars. That's what happened with Marvel. That's what happened to there's a laundry list of shit that was geared towards men that got infected by all of these women who came in, and they just will not make stuff for guys. It's like their thought process doesn't allow them to do so. When you go look at the sci-fi section of a bookstore nowadays, and you look at the new books, there are romance novels. There are romance novels in space because there are way more women writing science fiction right now, and they all look the same. It's the same stuff. That is why women comedians aren't really that funny, because women comedians tend to talk about stuff that appeals to women. Well, men comedians just talk about just stuff. Talk about the job, talk about this, things that most people can relate to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but women don't. Women talk about stuff that appeals to women. And you can see this over and over and over and over and over again. And this is the main reason why all this stuff that was for men sucks now. It's because there's too many women in it. So a Sports Center sucks. It's just when you look at First Take, they have all these women announcers on there, and they spend all the time talking, and they over talking the guys who actually played the damn sport. It's like, I don't want to hear you talk about.
I know what you're talking about.
I have no desire to listen to you talk about sports, like none. But because Disney has this stupid thing that they have to have all these females there, they hire all of them, and all they do is talk about. It's just like, bro, I don't give a shit what your opinion is, because you're not actually phrasing it in a way that men would want to listen to. It's like you're talking like you're talking to other women. Well, men don't want to listen to that. And you see this over and over and over again. And if you look at every of these, and people always go, well, how come such and such company can't make any good whatever anymore? That's why. They push all the men out. They did that at Pixar. They did that everywhere. They do stuff and they push all the men out because they're being sexist and blah, blah, blah. And they don't want to listen to women's stories and whatever. So then all you got left is females, and they just make stuff for females. I'm like, okay, that's nice, but this is Warhammer 40K. This is very bloody, and they're put like, how much about that do you know? The Warhammer stuff?
I know a little bit about it.
All right, so there is a sect of custodians or something I'm familiar a little bit with it. They've been years trying to make female versions of this, even though they have women soldiers in 40K, right? They already have that, but no, that's not good enough. they have to take the most popular thing for men and make that with women. Even though it makes no sense, because these are super soldiers. It's like, why in the hell, if you're making a super soldier, would you pick somebody who you got to do more stuff to put them even close to the level of the guys? Like, if I'm making why would I do that? But no, so they just released one where it has female versions of this thing. Nobody's buying the shit. And of course, they start talking about sexism and all this other stuff. But did you watch all the stuff with the Black Snake crap that came out?
With
oh, dude. Oh, let's see if I can. Okay, here we go. All right, be prepared to be offended. Ready to be offended?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
All right.
I'm Black Snake.
Oh, they made a music video.
I'm Black Snake. Yeah. Black glow, black skin. Walk the hall, they whispering. Cauldron bubble, I'm different. Dark eyes don't flinch, just glimmering. House points, man, miss me. Came from pain, they history. Same blood, they fear, they diss me. But they copy my brew, still shift me. Side eye from the portraits. Cold stone, but my soul scorched. They ain't teach where I'm from. Had to learn from the alleys in the torch. Half prince in the world they hate. Half rage in the narrow gate. Half hood in the castle gate. Hold me, never run from Black Snake. Walking through the dark. One day my hand and a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. Black Snake. They talk war in the streets. I see more than they see in the tower. Drive by, man, I glide by stealth. Broomstick, bring stone, cold shower. I ain't glorified shots, that's great. That's moms and black, that's waves. Of boys that ain't make old age. So I ain't my rage at the cage. Walking through the dark, one day my hand and a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. Black Snake.
You're erotic.
So I was feeling that. I was feeling that.
Yeah. So they were asking him about like the response and blah blah blah, and he was saying like, he was actually somewhat reasonable about it, and I think somebody posted something about how like they feel sorry for like what you guys going through. I'm like, bro, J.K. Rowling described what Snape looks like. He don't look like you. All you're gonna do when you take this, and this is, I say the same thing over and over again. Doing this is not gonna help your career, not at all, not even a little bit. You should say no, because one, especially when you already had movie versions of these characters that they're gonna compare y'all to in the first place, right? The dude who was Snape before you basically was the perfect version of that character in live action version form. It was going to be hard for anybody to come after that. But then you throw the race change crap in, and then by them changing you, it changes so much stuff that it gives it a angle that's not there, that's going to be there. Harry's dad hangs Snape from a tree, like upside down. So instead of him just being an asshole who's treating this because he likes this girl and she's hanging around this weirdo too much and he don't like it, so he's acting like a goofy teenager and picking on the guy, it adds an element of race to this should not be there. But so they can't really film that. So you can't do that part, because then it adds this weird element to something that was already messed up, but from the aspect of his dad being a bully when he was younger. So now it makes it look even worse. then you have Hermione, who, even though the girl is like mixed, she's still brown-ish. So that means when Malfoy is talking about mudbloods in the book, he's just talking about people who weren't born between like a
wizard and
a witch, right? But then she's brown, so then that throws a whole nother thing, and it's like stupid, and it's dumb that these people take these parts like that. The from Rachel Zegler, that was dumb for her to take that part. Like the chick for the Little Mermaid, that was dumb because it didn't help neither one at all. Because you're pissing off the original fan base. There is no new fan base. I don't get how they don't get that yet. These kids ain't checking for this stuff. They don't know who Luke Skywalker is, right?
Yeah.
And my God, he knows a little bit about it, but in terms of you trying to say it, it's just, yeah. They only like, if you want to, the reason why Star Wars was around for so long was because it was like a gateway thing. Something new came out. The people who were fans of the old version of the thing introduced their children to this, and then that's how you got new fans. They just didn't up and decide one day that I'm going to be a fan of this show that came out in the friggin' 60s. So that show is supposed to come out in December. So you'll get the first episodes of that in December. So there's a lot of stuff coming out this year.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
I said there is.
All right. Well, there's not really much else to discuss. Like, they're gonna rewrite Mass Effect for the non-gamers. It's like, why would anybody but gamers watch this show? Well, I truly don't understand why they keep doing it.
Oh, they've been teasing it for a while. That thing doesn't come out till December, huh?
Right. So instead of making something that the fans of the game would love, they're going for this audience who ain't going to care. They're just not going to care. And they do this again and again and again and again and again. And it keeps failing, and they can't figure out why it keeps failing. It's because you keep telling the original fans of whatever to piss off, trying to attract people who aren't going to care.
It's funny, yeah. I think they're trying to attract like more or newer people, but you know, they're it's not happening.
No,
and then at the same time they're losing the actual people like that, their fans.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, it's not gonna happen because they have there's so many different types of things to be interested in. You just putting this out is not like, oh, okay. It's kind of shiny. But like, other than that, you know, I don't understand these companies, from the AI stuff to like all these things. I don't get the thought process. But given what I showed you about how most of these gaming and whatever companies are constructed now, I'm not exactly surprised. They have like full of females who have zero desire to appeal to men. They don't make anything that appeals to men, but they will sure will whine when men don't watch it. Yeah, and it's like all the time too. That's what trips me out. It's like they do it all the time. Like, well, how come men don't want to? I'm like, because you don't make anything that men want to watch. You purposely made something that men don't want to watch, expecting men to just automatically just start watching. It's like the when you listen to the chicks in the WNBA talk, they just tell you how great it is and men should be watching it. Like, why?
I know sometimes they're not even talking about the players or the games.
It's just that they should just be watching because it's great. That doesn't make me want to watch it. Like, not at all. Nothing. You didn't show me anything that what makes me want to watch it is the clips that I get to see. And the clips that I get to see are you doing layup air ball and scoring 56 points. And everybody shooting, everybody lots of dribbling and shooting. No dogs, there's nothing exciting. So that is how you entice men to watch it. But you don't do anything that's gonna make men want to do that. Somehow it's our fault that we don't want to watch it.
And they're shocked.
Yeah, dude. They're shocked. From the games, from the movies, the TV shows, everything. It's just infected with this stuff. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So on that note, what was that? Oh, Super Mario made like $370 million or something like that.
Wow.
188.6 million domestically. And Project Hail Mary posted again. Made 54 mil this second weekend and crossed 300 million globally after 2 weeks. So there is some hope. But
Not all bleak.
not, yeah, it's just, I tried to play Spider-Man 2. I played the first mission. I got annoyed and I cut it off. The reason why I got annoyed is I like in terms of a character, I like Miles Morales. He's not Spider-Man, but I like Miles Morales. And you start off as Spider-Man swinging, then it switches to Miles, and the bulk of the fight against the Sandman, which is Spider-Man's bad guy, is you playing as Miles, with Spider-Man being your back kind of side helper person. And then they start having a conversation, and instead of putting Peter and Miles so that you can tell the difference, they just both call each other Spider-Man. It's stupid. Like, he's not.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah.
That would definitely kind of take me out of the game.
Right, and it's a Spider-Man game. I want to play as Peter Parker. I don't want to play as his girlfriend. I don't want to play as Miles. If you want to make a Miles Morales game, then make like you did before you had a Miles Morales game. Like, he's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man, there's only one Superman. There's only one Batman. Only one Captain America, Iron Man, whatever. I'm not have zero interest in all these whatever versions of these characters. It's going to be interesting to see how Doomsday is and why, and the explanation that they make for why he looks like Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that should be interesting. Hopefully it's interesting. Was it something that I saw? Oh yeah. Apparently the Black Panther 3 is gonna take place in whatever is created after Secret Wars. So whatever the hell happens in Secret Wars, Black Panther 3 is gonna take place in the aftermath of that.
Oh.
Yeah. How Denzel Washington factors in? I don't know. There are rumors that T'Challa will be in it. They should just recast the character like dude wanted. He wanted to create a legacy. He wanted to be like James Bond. But the character lives on. Other people play him. But the liberal white people who work in Marvel are too scared of a handful of black people on Twitter or X complaining about somebody else being T'Challa.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. Even though most of you ask your average fan, but like, dude, just recast him. That's what he wanted. He actually specifically, his family told you that. So if anybody complains, just go like his family, like, this is what he wanted. Then you can bring his brother out. His brother can say, yeah, that's what he wanted. And then that would end that. Hopefully they do that, but I have no faith. Just like I have no faith in the RoboCop thing or the next Pirates of the Caribbean or any of the other stuff. The chick from Supergirl is already talking about sexism and complaining about a backlash that has not actually happened yet.
She's already anticipating it.
Right. There's no backlash, but she's anticipating a backlash. It's like, bro, your movie's not gonna do that well because one, it's a lesser known character. One, two, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. Three, who wants to pay money to watch a moody 20-year-old complain about life who has superpowers and can fly and lift cars and shit? Nobody wants to watch that. Then you got Jason Momoa. It's going to be Jason Momoa with white body paint on. And I wonder if it's going to be chubby Jason Momoa because he doesn't like to work out unless he has to. I think that's why he looks so chubby in that in Fast and the Furious and in that Hawaiian King movie show that he's on. Kind of looks a little chubby. I don't know. But on that note, I'm gonna get some sleep. So what you gonna be up to after you finish this?
Not much. Probably brush my teeth.
Hey, exciting. All right. Well, on that note of gentle hygiene or dental hygiene, it'd probably be gentle too. So I don't know.
I'm gentle too.
All right. So on behalf of myself and my main man here, Elton, later.
Happy Easter. See ya.
Oh yeah, happy Easter.